You know, I feel like rape accusations are a very tricky thing. Because
very dicey.
yeah, especially for guys who are famous.
Interestingly enough, right, I don't know who it was. I think it was Marlon Wayans or someone
Yeah.
that. He was talking about podcasts and how he doesn't like podcasts.
Okay.
Because everything is always the first take.
I think people are going to go bananas for this.
Yeah. That's what's up. It's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild.
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take. Got no votes to make, we don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. African man, yeah. African man, ooh. The African male iris through the eye of an African male.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the African Male Iris, yet another podcast. And as you can see, it's a full house today, and we're so happy. DJ Tino.
Appraisal.
Rex back in the house.
Yeah.
Eli.
And Eli. You know Rex from the
You guys know Rex.
I don't appreciate your reference to say it's a full house. Like I don't understand.
You know, we'll edit that part out.
Which part? The full part.
I don't know. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Rex is actually labeled the Banana Man. It's a long,
Oh wow. Okay. That's a
We
long
left that
running
in
joke.
2024.
we were having some live episodes, and he had a killer statement that made its rounds on TikTok.
Yes.
Nice.
It was a nice
nice,
one.
I see good things
He
in your future.
likened women to bananas.
Wow.
Basically.
Wow.
Long story short.
Yo.
I was talking about bananas.
Okay. And then women.
Nah, I was just talking about bananas.
Okay.
And, Eli, man.
No judgment.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, man.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm not exciting at all.
Right.
I'd call myself an amateur comedian.
Okay.
So I've been in comedy for about 2.5 years. Beautiful, beautiful times with all of the local celebrity comedians you can think of. So
Right.
just really beautiful. So I love the way the community is so open. I mean, I'll tell you, I performed on the same stage with like a Trevor Gumbi in like the first year of being in there. But I think what's different is if you're an upcoming rapper, I'm sure you've never performed with like your idol Casper. It doesn't happen like that
Right.
in other spaces. So I appreciate comedy. So yeah, that's what I do. I try to make people laugh, bring joy, and stuff like that.
Don't afraid to be yourself.
No, I can't. I actually get in a lot of trouble because I'm always
yourself.
That is yes.
So this is going to be a good episode.
So I'm always
we love
myself
the
for the most for the most part. I'm always myself.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, guys, as you can see,
Oh my God. Are we gonna edit this?
You wish, bro.
Wow.
We, as a podcast, we haven't managed to get anyone to have a six pack. We're working on it.
And I don't. And here's the thing again. All of a sudden, we're talking about six packs in today's podcast.
of all days.
I've watched this thing.
Irony.
We talk about progressive issues, development, and today, all of a sudden, six packs.
My bad.
The body shaming is
my bad.
real.
Right.
And we ain't even started. But fair to guys.
Awesome, man. And I think today, Rex actually came up with an interesting topic. I think something he mentioned.
Is it fruity?
No, it's not. Or like a banana.
Yeah, man.
I think people are going to go bananas for this.
Yeah. That's what's up. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, man. So,
So Rex is a thinker. So please,
Yes.
give us the breakdown of what Rex suggested is our topic for
well, you
today.
can even start it off, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
bro.
this is it, Rick.
He's already like,
Let's go.
these guys are-
Putting you on the
already
spot.
Tino prepped for this. You know, he wrote a whole intro.
So you're saying he has to prep? He's not a natural. Is that what you're insinuating? I don't know. I'm just trying to understand.
No, but-
I'm new. I'm trying to just see.
Interestingly enough, right, I don't know who it was. I think it was Marlon Wayans or someone.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. He was talking about podcasts and how he doesn't like podcasts.
Okay.
Because everything is always the first take.
Oh, okay.
So you don't ever get that time to refine and get
And
better.
really
and
get better.
You know.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe preparation is a good thing. You know.
Not all the time.
I'll agree with prayer. You know,
I think he rehearses his because he's the same. He's out here like nah.
Oh, so he's reading the teleprompter right now, but he's talking about I
think maybe Eli and I are on the same page with this because we're entertainers.
Yeah.
So naturally,
You have to-
you appreciate the raw, you appreciate the creativity, you appreciate on the spot. Yeah,
Like in the motion as you do it, because look, it's like when I do comedy and the impromptu stuff really, like, most of the
hits.
time really hits.
yeah.
Because I come there with jokes, I've got a set, but I'll see someone with a weird jersey. I'm like, bro, why would you do
What's
that
going on
to
here?
us? Why, and then people that really resonates.
It does.
And roast that really. So I think there's like it's both. You have to have some
There's a
sort of
yin and a
planning.
yang.
You can't just rock up there unless you're like Trevor Noah, but I think everyone else has to prep because
Yeah, and I think Trevor's also very calculated.
he is extremely calculated. Trevor is very calculated, particularly now with where the spaces he plays there. You can't just talk, Baba. You say one thing.
They're cancelled, bro.
I think we're in that
opinion.
space now, so we need that prep. Eh?
So you can go
I
ahead.
mean, look at Macg and Soul now.
Oh my
Getting
word!
a lot of stick now, and
They are.
I mean, to be honest with you, I really felt like that was irresponsible.
yeah, no, that was
Like
On whose part? On Macg or so?
No, on Macg.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like podcasts are meant to share opinions, right? But when you are the number one podcaster in the like
In
on
the
the
whole- yeah, on the
continent,
continent.
continent, really.
right? Your show is big.
It's
When your show is
massive,
big, and with that always comes a lot of responsibility. It's just that you just don't see it until
It's hectic. It's too
until
late.
it's too late. So I
Absolutely.
feel like that was a little like you can say you don't like someone or say, hey, maybe they've got some issues.
But I feel like that's how he built his brand by
the
being,
beginning.
Controversial. by
Absolutely.
being
No.
leading
And
to
He
I-
wants to do
I mean,
that.
this is
there's
not
a part of
the
me
first
that
time.
feels
This
like
thing.
that could have also been
So,
intentional.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Publicity
that point,
stunt or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah, that's his track record,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like he did it and people were just not comfortable with it. Like when you always expect the same reaction.
Yeah.
from people,
Yes.
and
Then
things
now
just
He
change.
kept poking the bear,
Yes.
and the bear was like, actually.
Even that incident with when Reason came to one of their podcasts, that
Yes.
piano hub.
Ooh, that was heated, bro.
He's like, what were you saying last week?
No, that was intense.
That was intense.
No, that was intense.
Turned into
That was
interrogation.
intense.
What were you
But
saying?
no, that was really intense. But look, the thing is, and I struggle a lot with this, particularly being in the comedic industry.
Yeah.
Where's the line? And is there a line? And who determines what the line is? Because if you tell Macg he can't talk about that, is that not censorship? Am I not? Because if I should be able to say whatever.
No, you shouldn't be able
But
to
some
say
things
whatever.
you need to be factual now. You can't.
I mean,
Okay, so you're saying we should go test, Baba. We should go test if she's. Then,
no. I'm saying, like how he blatantly said she, she
that's what the thing. Yeah.
hold her way.
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
those kind of, it's loose.
Okay, cool.
It's too loose.
very
Yeah.
loose
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
So you're saying as long as truth then becomes a defense. If you're speaking the truth, even if it is controversial or like literally outside of the bounds of the usual conversation, that's okay.
Well,
I
I
would
mean,
prefer
do you
to
not?
generalize
It's for me. It's ironic that you would ask that question because I think that as a comedian, you are probably the best person to understand the fact that you can say a thing, but it's how you say a thing and the full context of it.
Yes.
that can either make it go left
Absolutely.
or right. So if I have a relationship with Rex, there's certain things I can talk to him
Yeah.
about based off of the relationship we
Specifically
have.
because it's just the two of you. Yeah.
And it might be something that you could say in the exact same words.
It's going to be different.
But because of the relationship, it lands different.
Yeah. It's going to be
Sometimes
offensive.
it's also the tone that's used.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Tone
the
sounds
context,
good.
it's the
Yeah.
platform. Sometimes it's the backstory. Sometimes it's the relationship. Sometimes it's just the way it came out.
Yeah.
Or the audience. It could be a lot of things, you know. So I think there's a lot of contextual
It's a
issues
lot.
there.
There's- yeah.
I still feel like if you're going to talk about someone, you have to be able to back it up,
Cool.
whatever it is. And I prefer to always talk about people that I know if they were there and I met them,
Then
I
we
would still
can-
be able to share the
I
exact
can
same
still.
Some kind of
opinion.
way.
I'm going to still live with my
yes,
teeth.
and I
Yeah.
will be able to say, or I'll be able to, or I'll be able to still say it.
If you were the
with
Macg,
my
you was
chest.
going to be
Exactly. You know, so for me, yeah, I was like, that was a little.
No,
little
but so the thing is, I think it also emanated from the conversation they had prior when she called him a rapist, right? And she didn't even have any. So
it's more like they
I'm
had it,
saying,
they've got a thing.
where
Yeah.
was
Oh, so
your
she
outrage?
said that?
Yes. So
Oh,
where was
wow.
your
I
outrage?
didn't know that.
I
Where
didn't
was
know that either.
Where was the community's outrage?
Okay.
And that what she said is even can be
Worse.
criminally, you know,
Rub
can
him,
be
yeah.
a problem criminally. So,
Yeah.
like, where was that outrage? So why are we outraging now? Because
Yeah,
he's
but I mean,
firing
it's not,
back.
I don't think it's everyone who had privy.
No.
Yeah.
knowledge
So
as
there
well.
was that's the thing.
backstory.
She called him a
They just
rapist.
don't like each other. That's the other
Without any, so to your example you used earlier, they clearly have a relationship. So yeah, they're going.
Can do that. Yeah.
They're going
can
at
do
each
that.
other.
But why are we catching strays?
Yeah, we out here catching strays, bro. Like, man.
Yep.
Yeah, did you see the clip as well where Saul tried to
Greet Casper.
greet Casper?
Saw that.
Casper ignored the guy.
What was that?
They've been dissing Casper also.
Oh, were they?
They've just
dissed
Casper.
Casper.
a couple of
Oh,
times.
so okay.
So Casper's just like, cool, these
so
guys,
Casper's
like-
like, no, you can't
Because
rock up.
I remember some conversation where some episode where Macg is just like, yeah, no, I'm just sick and tired of that Casper shit, bro. Like, we're always putting that guy
Oh,
on.
yeah,
He
we're
never
bigger
says
than him,
anything,
okay.
You know,
I
we're
saw that.
We're bigger than him. Like,
I saw that.
ask Dane Dash, you know.
Yeah, he knows
doesn't
us.
know who Casper is, but he knows us, you know. And then Saul is like, yeah, blah, blah.
Yeah, then he poured some
So I'm
liquor.
sure
Yeah,
Casper's
yeah.
like,
Like,
well, you
okay.
know what?
Okay.
Alright.
It's okay.
And but the Macg show is bigger than Casper, I'd like to think. Because the Macg show is the biggest podcast in Africa. Casper isn't the biggest artist
But
in
hold on,
Africa.
hold
Yeah, but that's like comparing a fish to a bear.
I don't know. It's not a fair comparison. I get
But
it.
I mean, in terms of,
but I just
reach,
you know, because we want to just like a straight line. It's
But
just
I feel
easy
like
for
the podcast, like a podcast like that's built off guests, like someone like Casper will bring a lot of views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so the content, you can't say, like, if it's just off the strength of Saul and Macg,
Yeah.
And their
I don't
own
think they would
conversations.
have
They would
that
have.
much. It's
That's
all
true.
for the guests
Who
that they bring onto the show.
yeah.
So you can't now discount and say, no, we're bigger than Casper. Like, Casper can just do one episode and it'll probably be one of their highest viewed episodes.
100%.
You know what I mean? So you can't really say that because he could
But
help the
if
brand.
Casper was to open a podcast, it would not be the biggest podcast in
yeah, because
in
Macg
Africa.
is a podcaster, but Casper's a
Yeah,
rapper.
Casper is a rapper.
That's why I'm saying
It's not
difficult
apples
to weigh
apples
them.
and apples.
It's not the
It's
same.
kind of like a weird.
It's not the same.
We're comparing bananas with apples, but
That's the thing about comedians. They do not forget.
Now he's got content.
All right. So yeah, topic of the day is vices. Eh?
yeah.
Bad habits.
Mm.
You know, I think as men, even us, we struggle with certain vices that you know, that stunt progress, that just affect your life in a negative way. And today, I think it's just being open and honest, because I think we are not talking about this as people who have conquered it. You know, we still have our struggles.
Right.
You know?
It's a real conversation. Yeah.
And I think, like what Rex mentioned, he mentioned that instance of like Shannon Sharp, for
Yeah.
example.
Oof.
You know, for all those who don't know Shannon Sharp, he's a sports commentator in America. He's about 56 now, 56 years old.
Yeah.
At 54, he approached a 19-year-old white girl. He's black at the gym, and he chatted her up. Then they started having a thing.
Right.
Are you laughing because it says gym?
I'm just laughing at the whole situation. That's insane. Like when someone breaks it down like that.
You're picturing
It is wild, bro.
Like I'm
It is
saying,
wild.
20-year-old. Yo.
I couldn't even do that.
No. Sure.
It's crazy.
And you're 25,
Wait, so,
you know what I mean?
so what's the full context? So,
So they started having a thing.
right.
And apparently this girl is actually she's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, she's an OnlyFans.
Okay.
chick, and now what then happened is she filed. Well, she's suing him for sexual assault.
Yeah.
100 million, and apparently
It went up from 50.
it was it 50 or
It's
100?
50M.
Oh, it's
It's
50.
50M, yeah.
But he
Shannon-
actually offered her
10
10 mil to
yeah.
keep it quiet because he knew the risk of this,
Ish.
you know, if this cloud just comes out,
That's crazy.
it will affect his business, it will affect his podcast.
It's
and
wild.
everything. So, you know, just looking at that, bro,
It's crazy.
54, look,
It's
you know,
crazy.
you're approaching a 19-year-old. And you know, I don't even know why his lawyer advised him to do that. Like when she sued, then his lawyer advised him, you know, to do a video to say no,
Yeah, it's a shakedown.
this is a shakedown, just like how Jay-Z was,
Yeah.
you know, that other lady who was trying to sue Jay-Z. And then he put text messages between him and this girl.
Oh, my word.
Dude, where they're talking, you know, the girl's sending messages to him like, no, I want you to tie me up like a dog.
It's crazy. Yeah, because they were
You know,
into
all that-
BDSM, that kind of thing. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, that's why he was with a younger girl, because she gonna do that. The
gonna do
older
that.
girl's not gonna do that. Nope, I'm not flexible enough for that.
And what go ahead.
Like Chris Rock had a joke about that. He's like, look, man, like dating younger women is cheap.
Yeah.
You know, she wants shoes, she wants a bag. These older women, they want
Yeah,
you to pay their mortgage.
exactly.
Can you fix my
Yeah,
roof?
fix that roof. I remember. 1 week, 1 date, fix my roof. It's on point. And
So does that come back to discipline as men? Is it part of discipline? How do you guys see it? That scenario. Yes, she's legal. She's 19, but other than these fantasies, what else are you doing?
I mean, okay. I think there's two issues here. I think we can definitely get into the vices.
Right.
But just starting off with this Shannon Sharp issue, I feel like, you know, rape accusations are a very tricky thing. Because
very dicey.
yeah, especially for guys who are famous, you know, because when they started this relationship, they were both consensual, both legal, and the relationship goes on for some time, so everything's fine. So does this mean that Shannon just decided that now he's a monster and then now he rapes her? If they were already into BDSM, like what were the lines, you know?
So the
So
story,
now- yeah.
the story goes that this she wanted a baby by Shannon Sharp.
Right.
If you get a baby by like a rich, famous person,
It's an insurance policy.
It's an investment.
it just happened to
Even the messages
Anthony
was-
Edwards and everything. you
He's
know
in
what I mean?
trouble.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So that's where it stems from. So apparently he didn't want to do that because he's already got kids, they grown and all
How
of
else
that.
am I going to get this
Right.
money?
Yeah.
Then the rape accusation followed.
You know,
And then did you guys hear that recording that she made? Yeah, she made it
They
into
edited it.
he really fell for that.
So it was a 10-minute conversation, but herself and the lawyer,
They
edited
switched it, yeah, so that
make it
it's
seem
proper.
like-
Make him a monster.
Exactly.
For real.
Yeah, but AI can do that, so.
Yeah.
But it comes back to what are you
What
doing
was he
with
even
these
there?
young OnlyFans chicks?
What was he-
did you expect?
And so I was listening
did you expect?
I was listening to Umar, his take on this whole thing.
Dr. Uma.
Yeah. So first of all, Shannon Sharp doesn't make the girl sign an NDA. Who does that?
Yeah.
Like how slow
celebrity.
are you? If you're a celebrity, you're getting into a relationship with
NDA all the
they
way.
have to sign an NDA. Number one. Number two, apparently he was not taking care of her. You don't do that. He wasn't giving her money. He wasn't showering her with gifts. He was just
Smashing.
and pulling her like a dog
Oh my God.
and stuff. So So all of those
I don't
things.
know if I believe that.
You
though.
know,
I don't know.
wait, no, but she was on something asking for money or whatever because she was asking for like 10 grand. There was a call that was played where she's asking for $10,000. Like for Shannon, that's nothing. He wasn't even doing that. So she was, getting a little bit.
That's why I think it's a setup.
agitated. It was definitely
I don't think he wasn't giving her money.
okay.
I
You think it wasn't enough?
I definitely think he was. You know what I
I
mean?
also think he was.
No, but he might not have been, guys.
But that's how she stuck around,
Remember,
man.
Shannon is old school. Shannon is not these young rich
Yeah, but
boys.
he's always
Shannon is old school.
He's always boasting about it. on
Shannon
his
is
podcast.
old school and he's very thrifty. So the way he uses his money, he's not just going to throw it away or throw it around.
Yeah, and he still wears joggers.
So yeah, and he wears joggers. Who does that? So there's a lot of other things that were connected to that. And then some people were saying the girl has a handler. The reason why she refused the initial 10 million is that the handler was like, no, it's not enough. We can get more. We can get more. Because he gave up the 10 mil too early. Right. Yeah, talk, man. Negotiate. Hey, nah, you man. I have got $1 million.
Should have
10.
played it like Jay-Z,
How do you just?
man.
How do you just say on the first attempt you say we can give you 10M?
Yeah, true.
You can't.
Because you
Our
wanted
image.
to disappear.
I
before
get
it
that,
gets into the
but
public eye.
that also showed the handler and the lawyer,
We
we
can
can
get
actually get more.
No, because
got
they heard
greedy.
about that contract, that $100 million.
But it's
dollar
not.
Contract.
It's not confirmed yet.
It's not confirmed.
They should
but-
have waited.
No, why wait?
No. You wait. No. You wait.
It's a hustle.
He signs the contract.
Then you
Right?
go in.
You know he's got 100M for sure. Then you go in.
No, but once that happens, you can't disrupt. You lose your leverage. You're negotiating leverage. If he's already signed and you already got the contract.
Yeah.
But if you have leverage that you could negatively impact that contract, then there's nothing you can do. You see what I'm saying? They had to do it preemptively before the contract. So that's why he tried to squash it before the contract came out.
Pay whatever you can.
But I'm telling you now, I don't think Shannon has 50M. These are US dollars, guys. He does not have 50M.
I don't know
He's not been in the game long enough to accumulate 50M. I don't think he's got 50M. It'll destroy him. If he has to pay that 50M, he's done.
This is all because of Cat Williams. Cat Williams blew him up, eh?
No, he did.
But okay,
Shane.
my question, tying it back to the vices, would
Right,
be
right.
okay. Let's take the assumption that this guy has some vice of young girls. Or
Yeah, or whatever his
What
fetishes.
actually drives men to pick up a vice? What drives us to go there?
I would say trauma. Some men have these vices because of trauma, abuse, growing up in a home that maybe lacked love or whatever. And they were exposed to all of these things and said, when I grow up, even with PTD, when you listen to his early story, his mom had a lot of parties in their home all the time with all kinds of waywardness, wayward people. He would say you'd walk in a room and you see people naked. And and he's like 10. He's 9. It's trauma. No pass to Diddy, but I'm just saying, I think it's important to underscore the fact that trauma does cause people to have vices.
Same thing with R. Kelly and his childhood.
There we go.
Right.
So for us, I mean, from a Christian perspective, this is where demonic things then start happening because you're not in a good space and you end up in all kinds of vices because you've got hooks. The devil can just pull on, oh, you were lonely coming up. Oh, you were not appreciated. Now you have the 10 mil. You're just gonna lose.
Rex,
You're gonna go wild.
Rex, what do you think?
You're gonna wild. One of the things.
I don't know, man. I think it's a dopamine addiction. Like one of the main things right now is gambling. Online gambling. Betway, Hollywood bets.
Sure, that's sad when you see those dudes there.
Bro, fam.
It's heartbreaking. It's
day,
really.
bro.
Yes, I actually have. Please go ahead. Rex, please go ahead. I need to tell you about an Uber guy story about gambling.
Sure.
You
bro.
see what I'm saying? Like
It's really sad.
I don't know. Like I can see how you can tie like sexual devianism to like childhood trauma.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can do that with gambling. I feel like that stuff, bro. Like money can come into your account
It's demonic, bro.
today, bro,
Yeah.
and it all goes out
Tomorrow.
on the same
Yeah,
day
yeah.
before you've even done anything.
Before you pay your rent.
So That one is like the most destructive thing I've ever seen, and it's like it's so
crazy.
easy to get into. Oh, you like Kaiser Chiefs? All right, cool. The Pope just died a couple of days ago, and we're betting on who's gonna be the next Pope. What color robe are they gonna bury him?
Yeah,
in? Like it's insane.
What time are they going to come out? When is the smoke going to come out the chimney?
bruh?
But I find, and it's interesting, you're going to talk about your Uber story. Gambling seems to be a broke man's sport.
I don't know about that, eh?
So the guys that I
don't think
see
so.
at Betway,
Yeah.
most of them are people that are not necessarily doing well. So you find, just check this, when you go to poor communities, what three institutions do you find? You find Bet, you find churches,
In the bar.
and you
beer
find
halls.
bars. Those are the three things
Well,
that
I mean-
will show you.
Now,
We are in and those are the vices. Just to bring it back to what we're talking about.
right.
You've got alcohol women, of course, in the bar. Then you've got betting, because this guy is in such a difficult space, he doesn't see a way out. So either I pray my way out, hence the church, or I bet my way out, where betting
Drink
comes
my
in.
sorrows away.
Or I drink them out. So I need to manage, because my life is not going the way I thought it would.
I actually don't think it's just a broke man's sport, because
Mostly, not just, but mostly.
because the other day I think I was doing a gig somewhere, and I took an Uber, and the Uber guy was very chatty, so I always kind of check the temperature. Is it chatty? Are we talking
let's
or are we
talk.
quiet? Am I going on
What
my
is
phone?
there? I don't want to be that guy.
He's like, hey, Buffett. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey,
Let's
how
go.
much is my phone?
I'm here for it.
Then this guy starts rolling out. He's like, bro, when it's weekends, like starting Thursday to Sunday, try and work close to Monte Casino. I'm like, why? He's like, as where I do my scores. I'm like, what scores? Like, are you gambling? He's like, no. I wait for the gamblers.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean? I wait for the gamblers to run out of cash.
Then,
Then they usually want a ride home to go and get more cash.
wow.
Or they've run out of cash
So they'll
and they
give you
want a
their
ride
phone.
home. And
Ish.
they'll give me, he's like, I bought an S22 the 2 months after it came out.
Oh, my word.
And I got it for like 1,000 rand
Ah,
because
shame.
this guy was
Just
taking
the
me
one I
home.
want to give
And I gave him 500 rand.
Wow.
So that he can go back.
And he was trying to take the
That
500
is
rand to go back.
crazy. That is crazy.
And then he's like,
an
I
addiction.
bought my daughter. So he was
100%.
telling me all the things he bought from gamblers. It's like the S22. I got an iPhone 13 or 14 or whatever, Pro Max.
Sad.
And then he knows some of them personally, because now they will just call him and say, come and get something from the house. And then he picks
And yeah,
them up,
just go to
drives
the
them
house,
back
yeah,
and
bring-
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, because then he's like, dude, so I'm trying to understand from this guy. And he explained to me and he said, it's almost spiritual, bro. Because
it
when
has
I'm
to
looking
be.
at these people.
Yeah,
It has
trance,
to
like
be.
a trance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
you are in some sort
he's
of
like,
spell,
this
yeah.
guy is chasing a thing that's unattainable. And he's trying to
He's trying to win it all back.
Exactly.
He is.
That's the most ridiculous thing ever. You've lost all these years. You think you're gonna win
Today.
But you know what?
No, today. No, today. No, wait. I know today.
But I think it's besides the trauma, I think that from my personal perspective, just looking at my own personal addictive behaviors, I would say vices stem from a lack of identity,
Okay.
like a strong sense of identity. A lot of men, because we're very, masculine,
ego-driven, yeah.
kind of individuals, right? We tend to attach ourselves to what we do. So if it's we're growing up together and prayer gets the girls, then prayer gets the girls is my thing. Wherever we go, whatever we do,
I'm the
have to
guy
kind
who
of
goes,
be the guy who
I need
gets
to
the
rip.
girls.
Yeah.
And because Rex knows me now for like 10 years and Tino's known me for 15 years, when we go somewhere, they're gonna hype me up with the thing.
Yeah,
and
they're gonna be like,
yeah,
"Do
we're here,
that
but
thing.
prayer's gonna
Go
get us
get
the
him.
girls.
Go
You
get
know?
him.
Yeah, exactly. So prayer does what? Does the thing, gets the girls and whatever. the day Prayer doesn't get the girls,
It's gonna be weird.
who is he? You know?
Your identity is
Because that was your
so
thing.
I feel like a lot of guys will attach their identity to the things they do. So it might not even be like a, gets the girls thing. It could be a money thing. It could be, I always wanted to be a lawyer. And so now I'm a lawyer and this is who I am. So the day something happens and some scandal and I can't be a lawyer,
It's gonna be.
I'm lost.
It's gonna be crazy.
So I feel like a lot of men try and find a
Validation.
the win, because men, we are sports, we are sport driven.
We have to. I
It's
must
always
win,
a count,
and I need
you know?
points.
So it's a points game
Yeah.
for everything. When it comes to business, when you hear, like, because I'm in real estate, right? When people start talking about what they're doing, the first thing is going to be you meet each other.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Rex, Prayer, what do you
That's what
do?
I do,
Oh,
yeah,
I do commercial real estate. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
cool.
Yeah, that's already a statement. That's a point, right? Oh, I do Airbnb. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so how's your portfolio looking? Oh, yeah, no, I've got 4 centers that I'm
Managing
managing
whatever.
or whatever, or buying or whatever, right? That's points. What am I doing? Then I give you my points. Then we start almost. Now we know.
Yeah, we know
Okay,
where-
Rex is a bigger.
And then I know. Okay, cool. So now
all right.
I'm gonna respect Prayer.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. When it comes to accolades, when it comes to cars,
Yeah.
like that's who we are.
Education.
Everything
whatever.
is just education.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's always going to be.
It's gonna be
some
a-
measure
yeah.
of this or that or this or
Where
that.
you at?
Yeah, exactly. There's some men who will only be affectionate to their wives because we're now in public.
Ah, right.
And
That sucks.
yeah,
I don't think sex is the right word to use in this case. I'm just saying. It's PG.
Noted.
Didn't they give you the brief before? I don't know, man.
so I feel like that. I feel like that's kind of where a lot of it stems from, because you'll have a guy who's gambling, and you'll have people who gamble with property. Like, because now, what happened when I started as a real estate agent, just doing sales and whatever, I realized I would meet a lot of people who amassed a lot of properties, and then I'd say, "Why did you get so many?" Right? They'd be like, "Yeah, because I thought it would appreciate, and I'll be able to get more from it, and then I'll be able to sell it for more." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. So you actually had all of this money, and you took all of this money, and you just kind of gambled on, hopefully this will work out." I mean, yes, I get it's a game of business, but I'm like, you can almost see the trace of, this was 10 years ago when they bought this property. They probably did it as an ego thing, because if you did it as a numbers thing, you would have known that this doesn't make sense. But that makes sense, because there are certain things that are just standard across the board. Anybody will know that if you're buying Joburg, it's not going to make money after 5 years. It's actually going to drop in value, It's like buying a car and saying, I'm hoping that I'm going to sell it for more.
No, you
Look,
can't do
I
that.
don't know if people know that about property, bro.
Okay, maybe. Okay, no. But for somebody who's in the game, like if you've got enough money to buy
Yeah,
seats,
because you should know.
you kind of should know
Yeah,
that.
if you don't
Yes.
know, then you've got people around you
Maybe it's
helping
a
you.
thing of not wanting to have cash, liquid
Maybe.
cash, liquid
Yeah.
capital, because you could end up using it on you know
On
what I
drugs.
mean? Like
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take, got no votes to make. We don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. African man, yeah. African man, ooh. The African male iris.